What's up, your boy DMO Domuto. We back with another video today watching Dragon Ball Chaos Crossover Part 7, Season 1 Finale by Damon What If. So we about to watch Season 1 finale of this amazing story of the combination of Sonic and Dragon Ball, and watch the finale. So we about to get into Dragon Ball Z time with the story next, and I can't wait to see that. So let's see what the finale looking like for this season.
The terror of Chaos Piccolo is finally over. But where is it? Sure, the Great Demon King part is out, but there's still this little baby Piccolo now. Kami has taken the boy back to Angel Island with him after Piccolo's defeat, though he's not sure what to do with him. The magic of Chaos managed to save Piccolo from death by reforming itself into this younger version of Piccolo, though that's also what is concerning Kami. Is this Piccolo going to grow up to become just like the Piccolo he knows? Tikal tries to tell Kami that this Piccolo is a brand new being. She can just sense it. The anger and hatred of Chaos was blown right out of him, and this little Piccolo right here won't be a threat if they're able to raise him into a good person. Kami thanks Tikal for the insight and realizes that, why not? He was able to raise Knuckles into the good person he is today, so hopefully he won't fail with this one. Kami offers the ones who helped defeat Piccolo a place to train. They all showed great abilities in the battle, so he would be happy to help them all refine those abilities, as he was the one who showed Knuckles everything he knows. This sparks some different takes, as well Tien normally would be happy to stay up here and train. He needs to make sure that Chotsu is okay now that he's back to life, and find a way to undo the Crane School ways down below. Kami respects Tien's wishes as he flies off the island. Tails and Amy are also conflicted. Amy says she had enough training when she was in the time chamber for a year, and would like some time back to herself, though she would be down to come back up here from time to time, as long as Sonic is here. Tails too, as he isn't really a fighter. He tried to do the best he could against the Chaoses coming after them, but unfortunately he didn't really do much. He wants to be a good fighter, but knows that training with a god would be too much for him right now. If he's gonna train with anybody, he'd like to train with Roshi, as with Roshi he can learn all of the basic moves and how to fight properly. Kami respects that as well, since it seemed to work out pretty well for Goku and Sonic. Now for Sonic, after the battle with Chaos Piccolo, he realized how often he actually loses. Pilaf defeated him, Metal Sonic defeated him, Eggman almost killed him on the Death Egg, and then the Chaos Piccolo twice. Sure, they always came out on top in the end, but if there wasn't somebody to save him when he lost, then they'd all be dead. He wants to be able to be powerful enough on his own to handle future threats like this. He won't train constantly like how they did in the chamber, but he'll stay up here on the island to gain new skills and be able to protect the planet. With Sonic on board, he turns to Goku to get his 2 cents. Goku says he is open to training, though through the fight with Piccolo, he learned about who he really was. He was the monster who killed his grandpa. So the monster who showed up to defeat Eggman, and when Metal Goku became the Great Ape, that was all him. He tears up as he can't believe it was really him who killed his grandfather. Goku's friends comfort him, as he didn't know how to control it, so it wasn't really him. Kami explains to Goku that he's had his fair share of disasters he's unintentionally caused. He relates to that pain, and asks if he would like his tail permanently removed, so he doesn't have to turn into that ape again. Goku thinks about it for a while, with him revealing, no. He smiles, pointing to the little Piccolo, saying that if Kami never released a demon inside himself, then this little Piccolo right here would have never been born and given a second chance. It's the same with him. If his tail was removed before, then he never would have transformed and been able to defeat perfect chaos. If he learns how to control this power, then maybe he can use it for good, just like how little Piccolo can become good here. Kami thinks that's an excellent analogy, and offers to help the best he can in training Goku to control his Great Ape power. With that, Tails and Amy say goodbye, flying off the island, as Sonic and Goku begin their training under Kami, Popo, and Tikal. Through the course of their training here, Piccolo Jr. gets a little older, beginning to form a personality of his own, separate from his previous demonic self. This makes the others pretty happy, as they were right in raising him themselves. He definitely has a bond with Knuckles, as they both have very similar personalities. Goku and Sonic do well training under Kami, with him trying to figure out why both of them were able to tap into the full power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds, being mere humans. He had a very sneaking suspicion that Goku may not be of this world, as he's never seen a human turn to a giant ape like that before, but he doesn't remember anything outside of his grandpa Gohan, so he can't entirely find out. Sonic, on the other hand, is definitely a human, so he just finds it odd that he was able to use the emeralds. Hopefully through this training, they can figure that out. Thankfully, the two can access their super forms with the emeralds still, and spar that way, so Kami get an idea of how they fight and use chaos energy. Goku doesn't like to really use the emeralds, as he would prefer to rely on his own power rather than a power-up granted separately. But this is just for testing purposes, so he doesn't really mind it here. They all continue to train together for the next few years, and while they all continue their journeys on getting stronger, there is somebody below going on his own journey. Dr. Eggman. After being held hostage on Angel Island for a few years, he is happy to go out and do some more research for himself. He knows he would have succeeded in relaunching the Death Egg if he had had all of the supplies, so he's been taking the time to get all of the forces in order. He even built a new line of robots already to be helpers, the E-100 lineup, who will go out and gather materials around the world to expand his empire further. He also needs to account for the fact that he actually died after King Piccolo attacked him. He can only assume that the Dragon Balls were able to bring him back from the dead, but dying was a terrifying thing, and something he never wants to have to go through again. He wants to have some sort of power that will be able to protect him from beings of chaos like Piccolo. The Metal, Mechasonics, and Metal Goku are good starts, but he needs something stronger. He needs some kind of ultimate power at his disposal to conquer the world, and hopefully not die in the process. He decides to go and do some digging into other projects that he's left behind and can build upon, and while going through the old works, he comes across his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik's old diary that he was given years ago. He never really read it before, as he was too young to really understand it. But this time, while going through it, he finds something that may be the answer to all of his worries.
Yes, sir.
He finds out about Project Shadow. As the years go by on Angel Island, Kami, Popo, and Tikal have trained them all into very promising fighters, in terms of both combat and in chaos energy. Kami tells them that to really show off what they know, if they'd be down to participating in the upcoming World Tournament. Sonic realizes that maybe this time he will actually compete, as he doesn't think that Metal Sonic would be able to handle him now. Knuckles has never entered in a tournament before, so he would definitely like to try it out and see how it is. Goku then comes over to tell the others he would love to, as he knows that Piccolo would as well. Piccolo tells the others that he would absolutely destroy them in a tournament, so it would be useless for the rest of them to compete. Goku laughs, slapping him on the back, saying he'd like to see him try. You see, in this continuity, since Piccolo Jr. is raised by Kami and Tikal, he has no need for his revenge goal, as he's raised to be a much better person in a nurturing environment. Goku, Sonic, and Knuckles are basically his older brothers, so he has no malice towards them whatsoever. This Piccolo is a good guy from the beginning. Tikal tells them all it's settled then, so they'll participate in the next World Tournament. Sonic makes sure to run on down to Kame House to inform the others. Tails comes out to tell Sonic he would definitely love to, as Goku told him how fun the last two were, besides Metal Sonic coming in and kinda ruining everything. Krillin and Yamcha are excited as well, though after learning that Knuckles and Piccolo are gonna enter, they kinda get a little worried if they're even gonna be able to compete. It doesn't matter, however, as they all show up for the tournament anyways. This time, the group aren't in shock over Goku and Piccolo being there, as they've met up multiple times since the attack on Piccolo, thanks to how social Sonic is. So in this reality, everybody doesn't just go years at a time not seeing everybody. There are a few other changes too, as this time, Kami isn't going to participate, since there really is no reason to, as Piccolo right now is a good guy. Mercenary Tao also isn't going to be showing up as Cyborg Tao, since he was definitely killed by Metal Goku back in Part 4. That means the matches in a tournament will go like this: Sonic vs Tien, Goku versus another name withheld, Piccolo versus Knuckles, and Tails versus Krillin. Hashtag Rip Yamcha. The first match, Sonic vs Tien, is one that Tien instantly regrets, as while he really tries to put up a good fight, Sonic is faster than ever and Tien isn't able to hit him at all. Sonic laughs at him, apologizing, saying he'll let Tien land a free hit. Tien isn't a fan of being mocked, so hits Sonic right in the face with all he's got. Unfortunately, Sonic didn't flinch at all, the punch literally doing nothing. Sonic says that he really should have trained up there with Kami, but that wasn't too bad of a punch. Sonic launches his Sonic Wind right at Tien, blowing him right out of the ring, winning his match. The next match is Goku vs Chi-Chi, with this match pretty much going on exactly as it did in canon, with Chi-Chi revealing who she is and how Goku promised to marry her. Goku eventually is able to remember her and what he told her, so agrees to marry her once the tournament.
Why are you grabbing me?
This definitely baffles everybody, and Amy goes up to Sonic asking if she can be next, with him telling her, not a chance. We then move on to the battle between both the disciples of Kami, Piccolo Jr. and Knuckles. The two get into fighting stances and rush towards each other, neither holding back. The two fly all around with Piccolo extending his limbs out at Knuckles to bind him up, with Knuckles just punching his way out and firing chaos beams at Piccolo, who retaliates with his own. The audience is having a great time watching this fight, as the two are really letting each other have it, though it seems like Piccolo's the one with the bigger advantage here. Knuckles may be really good with his brute strength, though Piccolo has a mind tailored to battle strategy. So he's already thought up everything Knuckles is going to do before he does it, and as a counter, Knuckles' hot head gets the best of him, so to get the edge once more, he powers up into his Chaos form, rushing Piccolo. This sudden power boost gets the best of Piccolo, but thankfully, he anticipated this coming. Chaos Knuckles knows he's screwed now, as he was hoping to just transform and knock Piccolo out of the ring quickly before he transformed too. Piccolo bursts out in power as well, his body changing into a watery coating, as he accesses the power of Chaos inside himself, reviving Chaos Piccolo. Knuckles curses as Chaos Piccolo zips all around him and knocks him out of the ring pretty quickly. As he is about to be declared the victor, the audience looks on in fear, recognizing this guy as Piccolo. Piccolo reverts back to normal, telling the audience that it's okay, he's not the Piccolo they know, and he's not going to hurt any of them. Thankfully, Piccolo's kind words prevent the audience from running away, so the tournament can continue. We then move into the final match of round 1, Tails vs. Krillin. Tails has come a long way in his fighting, as the basics he learned from Roshi definitely helped with him increasing his skills from the Time Chamber.
Don't let Krillin lose to Tails,
He in the Time Chamber and got some training in with Roshi, but Krillin is still the better fighter overall, as he's been doing it for longer. Tails may have some advantage with his two tails, but Krillin has been training with him for a few years now, and pretty much knows how to combat him.
Let my name Krillin get a dub.
Krillin's able to blind Tails, then grab him by his two tails, throwing him right out of the ring. Tails is disappointed he wasn't able to win his match, but he's just happy that actually got to participate, and have a fun fight with his friend. We then move on to round 2, where we have the rematch between Goku and Sonic. Goku says that this time, he isn't going to be stopped by Metal Sonic, so it's just them now. Sonic says he wouldn't have it any other way, as the two rush each other. Sonic and Goku zip all around each other, clashing blow for blow, causing huge shockwave through the whole crowd. They really go in with everything they got, with Sonic spin dashing all over the place, and even launching a Kamehameha out of his feet to speed up to Goku and knock him down. Goku is able to whip Sonic with his tail when he speeds too close to him though, spiraling Sonic out, and he's open to more punches. As the two clash, everybody is worried how evenly matched they seem, as this round could go on for hours. Though it doesn't even last the next minute, as suddenly everybody hears several helicopters and submarines barreling towards the island with their sirens. Goku and Sonic stop fighting to see what's going on, as a giant number of soldiers barrel through the crowd, stick their guns up at Goku and Sonic, telling them to stop right there.
The fuck is
Goku
this?
gets into a battle stance saying no way, until a woman's voice tells them they better stand down. Rouge the Bat flies out of the crowd of soldiers,
I forgot
saying
about
that they're
that
the good guys
character.
in this, and they really need them to come with her. The two ask what they want with them, as Rouge says that she doesn't really need Goku, but Sonic, as he's under arrest. Under arrest? Why is Sonic under arrest? Rouge says that Sonic infiltrated the gun facility this morning, so he's under arrest for questioning. This confuses them even more, as Sonic was with them all morning, and then was at the tournament the rest of the time. Rouge says that wouldn't be a good enough alibi, though since he's the fastest thing alive, he could have gone from here to there in seconds. He needs to come with them now, or they'll be in trouble. Goku prepares to fight, but Sonic tells him that this whole thing is ridiculous and not worth the trouble. He'll go with them for now, but they're making a huge mistake. Rouge takes in Sonic, has the rest a gun, shut down the rest of the tournament to question all of the bystanders. This really agitates the rest of the Z fighters, as they know that Sonic is innocent. Goku and Piccolo agree that they're not just gonna sit and be questioned, so they tell the others they'll figure this out, and fly off after the gun helicopter. Sonic is restrained in some sort of power dampening equipment, and not able to move. He can't believe this is happening. How could Gun confuse him for somebody else? They're supposed to be the most powerful military on the planet, so this is just ridiculous. They don't even have food or movies on this flight either, making the whole flight miserable. Once they touch down on Prison Island, Sonic is instantly taken in to sit with the gun commander to review the tapes of what happened. Sonic watches as he sees a blur zoom by the screens, taking equipment and destroying countless weapon drones. All he can make out is the shadow of a hedgehog. He laughs in the gun commander's face, as all the evidence that they have is a shadow. He's not dealing with them anymore, and vibrates through the power dampening equipment and rushes out. As he runs out though, he bumps into somebody blocking the path. He knows her, it's Princess Sally. Sally tells Sonic that she's gonna get him out of here without him being chased for the rest of his life. so he better sit down. Sonic says he can't deal with these clowns anymore and is just gonna go, though the look Sally is giving him could kill, so he agrees to sit back down. Sally, being a princess and a lawyer, is able to talk Gun out of holding onto Sonic, as he's right in them basing everything off of a shadow. To clear his name, as long as she can take Sonic out of here, they can go off and find the true culprit together. Sally does have some sort of authority over Gun, so the commander has no choice but to let Sonic go with her. So, him and Sally leave. Sonic thanks her for getting him out of there, and she says it was the least she could do after he saved her life against Piccolo! Sally backs up in fear after seeing Piccolo, but Goku reassures her that this isn't the same one and he doesn't mean any harm. Sonic is happy to see Goku and Piccolo here, and he explains to them what happened and what they have to do. The two are happy that Sonic is out of Gun's control right now, and says that they'll help in any way that they can to go and clear Sonic's name. Sonic, Sally, Goku, and Piccolo go out into the city to investigate, running and flying all around, looking for any signs of the stolen equipment from Gun. The search takes them into the night, when Sonic says that he hates being some sort of errand boy and they should just bail. This is when Sally points to the tall building over there, seeing some sort of weird silhouette. The group turn, but as they do, it disappears. This is when Piccolo realizes that the Chaos Emerald he had was taken out of his pocket. But as the group asks how that's possible, two Chaos Beams fly from a distance and hit Goku and Piccolo dead on in the chest, sending them flying away. Sonic jumps in front of Sally to protect her, as they look to see who fired.
It all starts with this, a jewel containing the ultimate power.
Shadow the Hedgehog steps out from the darkness, with a Chaos Emerald in hand.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on. The military has mistaken me for the likes of you. So, where do you think you're going with that emerald?
Shadow just smiles at Sonic, which angers him as he rushes at this faker.
Say something, you fake hedgehog!
Shadow then uses Chaos Control to teleport right by Sonic, and next to Sally. Sally summons her wrist blades to point at Shadow, as Sonic is confused on how this hedgehog was able to use Chaos Control. Only those extremely attuned with Chaos Energy can do that. How can this hedgehog use it? Shadow tells Sonic he's not just some hedgehog. He is Shadow, the ultimate life form, and he's going to plunge this world into ruin. He holds out the Chaos Emerald once more, and Chaos controls away. Goku and Piccolo fly out of the crater, looking for whoever it was that attacked them. Sonic is dumbstruck how this hedgehog that looks like him is able to use Chaos Control like that. Is this another robot from Eggman? No, that's impossible, since this one seems so alive. They need to find out what's going on. Suddenly, a bunch of gun soldiers race towards the premises, as they mistook Shadow's attack for Sonic once more. Sally tells the group that they need to get out of here now, as they'll definitely arrest Sonic for good this time. Sonic grabs Sally, as Goku and Piccolo grab them and fly out of the city to get to Angel Island. Once back on the island, the group informs Kami and Tikal of the Hedgehog able to use Chaos Control. This confuses the two, as now we have another mortal that can use Chaos Energy. What exactly is happening lately? Tikal places her hand on the Master Emerald, hoping to use its power to find out exactly where this being is. Thankfully, through searching for the Emerald, she finds out that Shadow must be going through the Green Forest. Sonic says that he'll head over there to go and find his Hedgehog, as he's got a personal vendetta against him now. Goku says that he'll go off with him to help, as Piccolo will head back to the tournament arena to go and tell the others what is happening. The groups all fly off, with Sally kinda left out, as these guys were her ride. Sonic and Goku eventually make their way to the Green Forest and find a whole bunch of badniks patrolling the place. They look over at each other, knowing exactly who is behind this whole mess. Can Eggman stop interrupting world tournaments for like 1 year? They rush off through the forest, destroying the badniks all around until they eventually come across the end of the island, where the Chaos Emerald Tikal sensed is found. Though, it's not alone. Eggman has a hold of it. Eggman remarks that he's impressed that these two have grown so much, and he'll definitely need to upgrade Metal Sonic and Metal Goku to look more like the two eventually. Sonic tells Eggman that they revived him after the incident with Piccolo, so he kinda owes him something. Eggman laughs as he didn't ask to be revived, and they should have known with him being back, he wasn't just gonna instantly turn over a new leaf. He is Dr. Eggman after all, and the Eggman Empire will eventually be realized. Him and Shadow will see to that. Shadow. They guess that him and Eggman are working together. Goku asks Eggman who Shadow is, and if he's a creation of his. Eggman states that he discovered Shadow buried deep within the gun laboratory, and released him to help him achieve his goal of roboticizing the world. In fact, Shadow should be out there gathering the remaining Chaos Emeralds right now. The two are confused as they thought that Shadow would be here. Eggman laughs, saying that he's just a distraction here. They really shouldn't have left that island. Goku and Sonic look at each other in fear as they burst back off to Angel Island. Piccolo and Knuckles return to the island, with Kami telling the two how Sonic and Goku are going off to find Shadow to work out this whole mess. And that's when Shadow teleports right behind Tikal and Sally, and with a swift kick to the head, knocks them both right out. Knuckles and Piccolo yell out as they rush in towards him. Shadow teleports all around them and nails them both right in the chest, knocking the wind right out of them. He is really fast, and the Chaos Control isn't helping either. He launches a Chaos Spear right through Piccolo's chest, and then knocks him right into Knuckles, sending the two flying. He then appears next to Kami, attempting to knock him out as well. Kami tries to block Shadow's attacks, but he's a lot more powerful than him, so he's knocked away with ease. But the opposition out of his way, Shadow places his hands on the Master Emerald and begins to call his chant that the servers are to 7 Chaos. Chaos is power, enriched by the heart. The controller is the one to unify the Chaos. Shadow yells out, Chaos Control, and the remaining Chaos Emeralds all appear right next to Shadow. He picks them all up, saying that with these gems of power, he can finally get his revenge on humanity and fulfill Maria's promise. Maria? Kami wonders who that could be, and tries to get back up to stop him. Shadow looks at him and apologizes to the Guardian, saying that he always had a respect for the Guardian of the Master Emerald, but his desires are bigger than that now. And as Guardian, he should have been able to prevent what happened to him. Shadow raises his hand up and swings it down to shatter the Master Emerald, as he then Chaos Controls away. Angel Island then once again falls into the ocean, with Goku and Sonic crashing back onto the island, seeing everybody all on the ground. In panic, they rush over to help everybody up, with them all thankfully not being too injured, as Piccolo is able to easily regenerate from the hole in his chest. Shadow has all of the Chaos Emeralds. They don't have their power, or the Master
Shadow
Emerald's
just do
power
what the fuck he want, don't he?
as all of the shards are blown out of the island in the crash. Shadow plans on getting his revenge on humanity, so they know that whatever he's going to do with the Chaos Emeralds, it can't be good. Sonic speaks up though, as all hope isn't lost. He pulls out the green Chaos Emerald, saying that thankfully, he still has this one. He managed to zoom over to Eggman and steal it from him while he was monologuing. He could sense the emerald trying to escape his grasp, but with his own Chaos powers, he was able to keep it from Chaos Controlling away. So he guesses Shadow can't count very well, as he only has 6. This is very good news, as hopefully without all 7, he won't be able to enact his plans. Tails radios up to the group, as they need them to turn on the news right away. Something big is happening. Piccolo summons a TV in front of them, as they see that Eggman is on air, and he's come to make an announcement. Eggman informs the world that he has returned, and that he will become a bigger threat than the Demon King Piccolo if the world isn't able to hand over the 7th Chaos Emerald. He knows that it's in Sonic's hands, and if the people of Earth value their pitiful lives, then they will find him and hand it over, or else this is going to happen. The footage then cuts to the Space Colony Ark, as the underside explodes, revealing a gigantic laser. The laser powers up and fires directly past the planet. Our heroes look up in the sky in horror as the laser passes overhead, and directly hits the moon. Half of the moon is completely destroyed by the laser, and large pieces of the moon begin to fall into the planet. The footage cuts back to Eggman, as he laughs, saying that they have 24 hours to bring the 7th Emerald to the Space Colony Ark, or next time, this laser will hit the Earth. The footage stops, as our heroes have to make a tough choice. Thankfully, they now know where Eggman is, the Space Colony Ark, though they need to help the people below, as the piece of the moon crashing into the planet will kill so many. Sonic says that he'll speed over to Tails' workshop, as he should have a ship there that they can use, and he can go to space to stop him. Goku says that he'll go too, so they can stop this Shadow, while Piccolo and Knuckles say that they're gonna fly around the planet to help everybody from the falling pieces of the moon. Sonic takes Sally with him to drop her back off at the King's castle, hoping her and her dad can make a broadcast to calm the people down. Once they arrive at the castle, Rouge flies down next to them, saying that after reviewing the case, Sonic isn't capable of destroying the moon, so she's gonna try to help them in any way that they can. They need to hurry and stop Eggman fast before he destroys the planet, so they can take the Gun spaceship to get there. Sonic rushes Rouge and Goku over to Gun, as Rouge steps into the spaceship, piling it over to the Space Colony Ark. As the group leaves the atmosphere, Goku looks over to the destroyed moon. Sonic asks him if he thinks he's gonna ape out on them up here, but Goku says he only transforms under a full moon, which he doubts is ever gonna happen again. Unfortunately, this time, they're not gonna have a great ape transformation on their side to save them. They're on their own here. Sonic says that they've been having to rely on the Chaos Emeralds and giant monkey power-ups for too long now. It's time they beat Eggman with their own power. Goku agrees and fist bumps Sonic, as they watch Rouge find an entrance to the space colony. As the plane lands, Rouge tells the two that she's going to go and find a way to stop the Eclipse Cannon from firing again, while they go to stop Eggman and Shadow. The group parts ways with Sonic and Goku running/flying throughout the arc, attempting to track down the two powers. Shadow eventually finds them first, Chaos controlling in front of them, demanding that they give the Chaos Emerald over to him now. Sonic tells him no way, as he's not going to be destroying the planet over some petty revenge. Petty? This angers Shadow, as he appears in front of Sonic to punch him right in the face. He says he's doing this for her, and if it wasn't for them, then she would still be alive. Goku wonders what he means by them, but Shadow is done talking and goes in to fight them both. The two fight out with Shadow, surprised by his immense strength. The fact that it's taken the two of them to actually stay in the fight against this guy shows how much of a threat Shadow is. Shadow is able to evade them all with Chaos Control, shooting multiple Chaos Spears directly at them. Thankfully, they have experience with raw Chaos Energy due to them training with Piccolo, so can avoid and even sometimes block without getting pierced. With these guys fighting, Rouge goes to infiltrate the Eclipse Cannon, though she's almost squashed by Eggman on her way there. Eggman flies by in his Egg Viper, telling Rouge that she's not going to ruin his plans for roboticizing the world. He fires multiple lasers at her, with her barely dodging them. She tries to fight back, but the shell is too tough and she is knocked around quite a bit. She falls down pretty hard, sure she's done for, until the cockpit is hit dead on by Amy. Amy lands next to Rouge, helping her up, saying that help has arrived. Tails flies right by, shooting Eggman with his arm cannon. The Egg Viper tries to blast him out of the air with his own lasers, but while Tails is distracting him, Krillin and Yamcha appear right behind the Egg Viper, with Yamcha throwing his Spirit Ball all around to destroy it from the inside, and knock Eggman out of the machine, with Krillin launching a Kamehameha to fully destroy it. Rouge catches Eggman and puts him in handcuffs. She demands that if Eggman values his life, then he'll lead them over to the Eclipse Cannon so they can shut it down. Eggman tells her he'll never let these rodents stop him. That is until Yamcha forms another Spirit Ball in his face, saying that they didn't take Tails' plane to come all this way for nothing. So, Eggman better fold, or he's gonna blast him into smithereens. With this, Eggman folds. The battle between Sonic, Goku, and Shadow ramps up, with everybody getting knocked around hard. Shadow is a gigantic force to be reckoned with, and Goku realizes that he might not be able to beat this guy on his own. He tries another method, and attempts to talk Shadow down, asking why exactly he wants revenge on humanity, as what have they done to him? Shadow keeps fighting with Goku, saying that they took everything away from him, so he's going to take everything from them. Sonic spin dashes into Shadow to get him off, and asks for specifics, as maybe there's a way they can fix that. Shadow doesn't want to reveal his plans to these guys, but he's pretty tired and needs a breather, so decided to elaborate. Shadow reveals that 50 years ago, he was created by the great scientist Dr. Gerald Robotnik, Eggman's grandfather, aboard the Ark. He was created for the purpose of being the cure for all humanity, specifically Gerald's granddaughter, Maria, his best friend. It is until the military who founded the experiment turned on them and shot Maria. In her dying breath, she told Shadow to avenge her and destroy humanity. This is why he's going to use the Eclipse Cannon to destroy the world.
Said all that?
Goku and Sonic look at each other. Goku tells Shadow that he understands where he's coming from. When he was little, he thought that a monster killed his grandfather. He trained every day and hopes to be ready to slay the monster and get revenge for his grandfather's death. But, as it turns out, he was that monster all along. Trying to get revenge can turn you into the monster. So, if he really wants to avenge Maria, he needs to stop the Eclipse Cannon and be what he was made for in the first place. Sonic says he's right, as he was supposed to be the ultimate life form, right? Well, as the ultimate life form, he's to help humanity past its failures. Shadow tells them to shut up. He's not listening to them. He knows who he is and what he was made for. He's the ultimate life form who will destroy the planet. He rushes back into attack until the whole arc begins to shake. They all look at each other, wondering what's happening, when Shadow pulls up his screen to see that the others stopped the Eclipse Cannon from going off.
Sure.
Goku and Sonic breathe a sigh of relief that the others showed up, but then wonder what else is going on as the arc begins to plummet towards the planet. Shadow turns off the camera as he walks over to the window. He says that the doctor put in a failsafe, as if the emeralds are removed once placed inside, a failsafe will activate, meaning the arc is now making its way towards the planet to destroy it. The others show back up to ask what's going on and hear about the arc's imminent crash. Tails goes to give Sonic the Chaos Emeralds, saying that as Super Sonic, hopefully he can teleport the ship out of harm's way. Shadow appears in front of Tails though, Chaos controlling the emeralds off of the arc, saying they're not going to be using those this time. Everybody starts freaking out, including Eggman, saying he wasn't planning to die again. Shadow says he's sorry, but this is what Maria would have wanted. This is when a voice behind them all says, "No, it isn't." Shadow's heart immediately stops. No, it cannot be. He slowly turns around to see some sort of old lady on a crystal ball, and directly behind her is Maria.
Oh.
Maria runs over to hug Shadow, with
That's
him
fire.
too stunned to speak.
That's crazy.
And he then hugs her back and begins to cry uncontrollably. He asks her how she is here, with her telling him that the god of Earth reached out to the other world looking for her. They said that he had lost his way, and she was the only person who could remind him of what he's really here to do. Grandpa Gerald lost his way too, and once he found Shadow's escape pod on Earth, he tampered with his memories to make him forget her promise. Shadow can't believe it. She didn't ask him to destroy humanity? Maria flashes her sweet smile at him, saying she asked the complete opposite. She asked him to let the people of the planet have a chance to be happy, to let them live their dreams and have a better future. That's the reason he was brought into this world in the first place. Fortune teller Baba tells Maria to wrap it up, as she doesn't want to stay on this death ship anymore. Maria tells Shadow that she knows he'll do the right thing, as she backs back up next to Baba. Shadow begs her not to go, not to leave him again, with Maria telling him they'll meet again, as long as he is able to save humanity. Through tears, she is able to say,
"I believe in you."
As her and Baba fade away.
Aww.
Shadow stares where Maria was, and puts his head down. The others look at him, wondering what is he gonna do now. Shadow lifts his hand up, snapping his fingers, summoning all the Chaos Emeralds back. The others look in awe as the Chaos Emeralds surround Shadow, and he powers up, absorbing all of the power inside himself to become Super Shadow. Super Shadow looks to Goku and Sonic, saying he's sorry for not realizing it before, and to allow him to rectify his mistake. They tell him not to do it alone, as they'll come with him, but Super Shadow snaps his fingers once again, and Chaos controls all of them out of the Ark. The group all appear back on Angel Island, horrified at what is happening. Sonic rushes to the edge of the island, screaming Shadow's name. Super Shadow stands in the descending Ark, alone. He looks up at the sky, telling Maria he'll see her soon. He removes his inhibitor rings, pushing himself to full power. Super Shadow summons all of the power he can, and with a final burst of energy, he yells out,
Chaos Blast!
The Chaos Blast completely engulfs the Ark, swallowing it in pure power. The group watch from
Okay.
Angel Island as the incoming Ark is enveloped in a red light, and a gigantic explosion rocks the whole planet. With that intense light, the Ark is gone. And so is Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic yells
Oh, my
out for
nigga,
Shadow
Shadow.
once again, as everybody looks at the sky in sadness. After regaining themselves, Eggman slips away for now, thinking over what has happened. He got to see his cousin Maria again. He forgot how sweet she was. What does he really want now? As Eggman flies off, Piccolo and Knuckles return with the fully completed Master Emerald, raising Angel Island to the sky once more. They managed to save many people from the falling moon shards, though many lives were lost. This is when Sonic rushes off to go and gather all the Dragon Balls as fast as he can. Hopefully with all of them, he can revive everybody and bring Shadow back. Once Sonic gathers them all and summons Shenron, he wishes for all those killed in today's incident to be returned to life. Shenron is thankfully able to grant the wish, and everybody killed by the moon's destruction are brought back, though there is no sign of Shadow. Tails theorizes that maybe since Shadow is a creation of Gerald Robotnik, maybe he isn't a real person, so that's why Shenron can't bring him back. Goku tells him he doesn't believe that though. Robots can't have souls too. He learned that a long time ago with Ader, and Shadow was definitely more than a robotic creation. He definitely had a soul. He believes he's out there somewhere right now, and hopefully one day soon, they can meet again. With that, the Z-Fighters once more go their
Okay.
separate ways. Goku returns to Chi-Chi, and they decide to make a house out near where Grandpa Gohan lived. Sonic, Tails, and Amy reunite to go and explore the world for any signs of Shadow, with Rouge and Sally thankfully clearing both Sonic's and Shadow's name from the public eye. Knuckles and Piccolo stay up with Kami, Popo, and Tikal to help watch the Master Emerald to make sure nothing happens to it, and things have
Y'all be
returned
letting
to
everything happen
peacetime
to it, man. What
once
the hell y'all be
again.
doing up there?
Though, unbeknownst to anybody on Earth, there is somebody making his way to the planet. Somebody who is looking for his long-lost brother. And with that, we end the first season of What If Sonic Was in Dragon Ball. This episode, and this season in particular, was some of the most fun I've ever had writing a series before. The fact that the past 3 episodes have been over 30 minutes should show that I really do enjoy writing it. Plus, all of the amazing support and all of the great fan art I've gotten for this series as well just makes me feel so happy that all of you out there enjoy this series as much as I do. I've gotten a lot of extra support on Patreon.
Shout out to Damon, What If, man. He killing this story, bro. He's killing it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I fucks with it really, really good. Man, shout out. Well, I ain't gonna shout him out again, but shout out to Sonic and Goku, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to see the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter right here, and check out another story right here. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.